After 20 sailings with Disney Cruise Line, cruise number 21 is on Virgin Voyages. And I am so excited and a little bit nervous, and I want to share exactly why I'm doing it and what's to come. So, how do you go from Disney 20 times to Virgin Cruise Line? Well, there are five main reasons I'm taking this cruise. Number one, I am going without my kids. And without my kids, I don't want to see kids around either. I know this sounds kind of crazy, but when you're on Disney, there are children everywhere, and it's not a bad thing. I don't mind children. I have four of them. But if I'm going without my kids, I don't really want to be reminded of them. I don't want to have moments where I'm like, man, I wish my 2-year-old was here. She would love this character interaction. Or, oh my gosh, my 5-year-old would have loved this show. Or my 3-year-old would have, no, nope. Out of sight, out of mind. They're going to be at home. Let's keep them at home. So, no kids, no reminder of kids. I love that about Virgin. It is for adults. There is none of this, no kids stuff, no nothing, no nursery, no kids club, none of that. And I'm very, very excited for that. Please remember, I have 4 kids. I love my kids, but I'm taking an adult only cruise without my kids, so I don't want to be reminded of them. So please don't take that the wrong way. Okay, number 2, I have severe food allergies. And over the past, this is how we started cruising in the first place, is because of my food allergies. And it was really, really challenging when we were traveling internationally, when we would go to places and I'd have to remember, like, I'd have to translate my allergy in the different languages. And there's multiple allergies, and every restaurant, you're trusting someone with your life. And that's really hard. So you end up going to a lot of grocery stores, and we end up doing a lot of like cheese and breads, and that's totally fine. But something about cruising is supposed to be like a vacation. So I really enjoy the vacation aspect. So anyway, that's how we started cruising. But Disney Cruise Line over the past few cruises has changed. I don't know if they've changed what they've brought on board or if they've changed policies, but traveling with food allergies has become really, really difficult on Disney Cruise Line. And I'm not saying that I've had any exposures to allergies. I have had that in the past, and that's been very, very frustrating because my allergies are severe, like EpiPen kind of allergies. Luckily, though, my allergies are to things like parsley and cilantro that are very, very visible because typically they're used as garnishes. That said, though, my last few cruises, probably 4 or 5 cruises, depending on the ship and the team, a lot of times they will tell me they cannot make me X, Y, or Z, or they say they can do it, and then they bring me out a meal that is just plain as plain can be. Like no salt or pepper on the meat, not even like there's no sauce to be found. And I want to enjoy my food, like I do. And they get 24 hours to prepare my food because I pre-order it the night before so that it's not an issue. And so that has been really, really challenging when you pre-order your food and you're like, hey, I would really like this dish. And they don't come back that night and say, like, hey, we're not going to be able to make it. They show up the next day with something, and it's like the most bland thing that I mean, anyone could have made better than, and I don't know. I don't know if it's just because they're taking the allergy so seriously that the chefs aren't given any autonomy to, I don't know, make a sauce from scratch. I don't know exactly what's going on, but it's been really frustrating, and it's making cruise not very enjoyable because when all of your meals are really horrible, I mean, just because I don't die, like that's great. That's a great perk. I love living, but I want to enjoy my meals. And I don't think that's too much to ask for the amount that you're paying for Disney Cruise. I feel like I should get to enjoy my meals. And so we're going to try out Virgin and see if they're able to prepare anything better than what Disney has done over the past many cruises. Now, I will say Disney does a fantastic job in their like fine dining restaurant Palo for my food allergies, but on the main areas of the ship and especially the private islands, it's been it's been really rough. It's been really hard. Even with many, many conversations with guest services, I've even like tried to do something before I even got on the ship. It's just been a mess. And I don't know if it's a corporate thing or I don't know where the breakdown's happening. So if you have ideas, leave them in the comments below. And maybe it's just because my allergies are so unique and anything that says spice on it could be questionable because you don't know what the spices are. And I get it. I wouldn't want them to be liable either if something were to happen to me, even though I have EpiPens. Like, I don't want to do that. They don't want to do that. I get it. But there should be alternatives where they can, I don't know, make any kind of sauce, even if it's the same sauce for 7 days. Like, something or season my food with some spices I mean, they've got to have spices on the ship. And it just feels like that's not possible. Excuse my rant. Let's move on. Let's move on. We're doing Virgin because we're going to try and see if they're capable of doing food better. Next up, Virgin has different itineraries than Disney Cruise Line. And this is something I'm really, really excited about. Disney typically does the same itineraries over and over and over again. And Virgin just has a lot more destinations that I've never been to and would love to explore. And I want to show you some of these itineraries because they are wild. I mean, you've got Ibiza, you've got Greece, you've got the Mediterranean, Croatia. I mean, and then you go and check out the Caribbean. We've got Ocho Rios, Georgetown. Oh, and from San Juan, we're going to San Kitts. I mean, some of these places I've never even heard of before. It's unreal. And then destinations, you have North America. You have from New York all the way to Bermuda, back to Charleston, South Carolina. You've got Canada. I mean, fall foliage, that just sounds incredible. I'm sure that's already happened, but maybe next year. I mean, these itineraries are just so fun. And so I will be exploring places that Disney does not go. And man, am I excited about that. I know many people that cruise with Disney are not cruising to go see the destinations, but that's why I cruise. I love cruising to go see the world. I think the ships are great, but the ship is not really why I'm sailing. I'm sailing to get from point A to point B to point C, while also having a safer allergy experience. So the ship is not as important to me as the itineraries are. And so I am so freaking excited to see some of the itineraries that Virgin has. Number 4, the social experience is very, very different from what I've heard on Disney versus Virgin. So there's not a lot of experiences on Disney to like really mix and mingle with other people unless you are intentionally trying to do that. But with 4 kids, we really don't have a lot of time, or there's not a lot of opportunities for us to meet other families or other adults or friends or really anybody. So we have not really made a lot of connections on our cruises because probably our family situation where we have a child with a disability and then we have like 4 kids and they are little right now, so they demand a lot of our time and attention. But there's just not a lot of mix and mingling of passengers on the ship unless you are going to things like trivias. But even that, like people are kind of there with their people. And I'm really, really excited because everything that I've heard about Virgin is there is a lot of mixing. And so that you're going to meet a lot of people. And for this cruise, like I'm really excited to meet other people that like to cruise. And I would love to do that on Disney. So if you ever see me on a ship, come up to me, say hello. I would love to hang out. Now, if I have my 4 kids with me, that might not be possible, but I am always team, let's go on an adventure, let's try something new, let's do this, let's do that. Like I'm that girl. Like I am the any idea you might have, I might be the one to tell you to do it. So be warned if we meet, I might tell you to do the crazy thing. So there you go. And number 5, this one is probably the most obvious, but it is also the most important, and that is cost. That is cost. Disney charges so much for their cruise line that any alternative is going to pretty much be cheaper. I mean, there are some luxury cruise lines out there that are more expensive than Disney, but for the same quality, from what I understand, Virgin is a very similar like quality to Disney. They kind of match up in their service and their cleanliness and all of those things that I've come accustomed to with Disney, that I am really looking forward to trying something that costs a little bit less for the same experience. Now, this trip ideally is going to be a trip. It's not even with my spouse, it is with a family member. And honestly, it's a first of hopefully many trips that are adults only for me and maybe my partner, maybe other family members, maybe friends, maybe girls' trips. Who knows? But the thought is that this could be a place or an experience where we can kind of go see the world, have the same level of service and other things as Disney, but not have our kids with us and not feel like we miss them. I mean, we're always going to miss them, but have something that is just for the adults. So that's how we're going. I don't know how any of this is going to pan out. So I need you to subscribe if you want to be on this journey to find out, can Virgin handle my food allergies? Are these itineraries and these locations, are they top notch? Like, does Disney not go to a lot of places because there's a lot of places not worth going to? Or are these destinations absolutely a reason you should be trying other cruise lines? Is the social experience on Virgin real? Like, will I make friends? Will I meet other people? And finally, is the cost worth it? So I want to hear from you. Have you ever been on a Virgin cruise before? If you have, leave it in the comments below what you thought. How does it compare to Disney if you've done Disney before? And I will be spilling the tea. You know I don't gatekeep here. So I will be letting you know when I go on Virgin Voyages if there's anything that I found uncomfortable, because I know there's a lot of like questions about, is it too much? Is it too this, too that? And I'll be really honest with you. So let me know what questions you have that you want answered when I go on the sailing. And if you want more Disney cruise content and possibly Virgin content, and stay tuned. Hit that subscribe button so you're along for the ride when I go and I can report back on everything I experience. And we'll see you in the next video. Okay, y'all. Bye.